Welcome to the IT Free training video on the requirements for installing DNS on Windows Server 2008 and 2012. Once you've finished watching this video, you will know the requirements to run DNS on Windows, and you will be able to make a decision which servers to install DNS on to meet your needs. The first point to consider is that Windows DNS is fully bind compatible. Bind is a UNIX-based system that dates back to the 1980s and is still widely in use today. It is possible to use bind-based DNS with Active Directory. However, it does not integrate as smoothly as if you were to use Windows DNS. The most noticeable difference is dynamic DNS is not automatically set up. Dynamic DNS allows servers and clients to register DNS records on the DNS server. When a client starts up on the network, it is able to use dynamic DNS to register its hostname in the DNS server. Without this feature, the administrator would need to register the host name manually. If the IP address of the host never changes, this is not such a problem. However, if it does, this starts to become labor-intensive, trying to keep all the DNS records up to date. Active Directory will automatically create service records in DNS that clients will use to locate services on the network, for example, domain controllers. These records are created automatically in Windows DNS using dynamic DNS. If dynamic DNS has not been set up on your UNIX system, an administrator will need to import the DNS records into the UNIX-based DNS system manually. If there are changes on the network later on, the process needs to be repeated. This is why Microsoft recommends that you use Windows DNS with Active Directory, since it does not require any additional configuration in order to get it to work. Also, Windows DNS is able to take advantage of the secure channel created between domain clients and domain controllers to offer secure updates. DNS can be installed on Windows Server 2008 or 2012 for any edition except Windows Server 2008 Itanium. Itanium Edition is not available on Windows Server 2012, so it would be assumed that if it were, DNS would not be available on this edition. Before you decide which server and edition you want to use, the next point to consider is if you will install DNS on a domain controller or a member server. If you install DNS on a domain controller, this allows DNS to use Active Directory integrated zones. This essentially means that the DNS records are stored in the Active Directory database, meaning that it can take advantage of Active Directory's additional security and also its replication. The most noticeable is that it allows the client to use secure dynamic updates, assuming they are part of the domain. The last requirement that you need to meet is the server you decide to install DNS on needs at least one static IP address. The static IP address can be either IPv4 or IPv6, or both. As long as the server has one static IP address configured on one of the network adapters, DNS can be installed. This concludes the requirements for installing DNS on Microsoft Windows Server. In the next video, I will look at installing DNS. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.